Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon, your football psychic Perna. Today, Chris Mortensen dropped a mort bomb, or a mortar shell, might be better, on Twitter, stating, sources say Deshaun Watson could play hardball with the Texans about a trade. His new $156 million contract includes a no-trade clause, but informed speculation from a source is that he would consider the Miami Dolphins, in which Tua Tagovailoa and additional compensation goes to Houston. Now, if you recall, I half-jokingly said on my Twitter, @BrandonPerna, follow me, what if the Dolphins trade Tua and the third overall draft pick back to Houston for Deshaun Watson? How perfect would that be? Many of you thought I was crazy, but I accurately predicted the hottest Deshaun Watson trade rumor before anyone else. If that doesn't convince you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, nothing will. And I should just give up. But today I want to quickly reiterate why Watson can force his way out of Houston and confirm the Dolphins would be a great fit, even though I don't like the idea of Deshaun Watson playing God with Tua's life. I'll discuss that Watson trade today on That's Good Sports. Today's episode is sponsored by HelloFresh, or as I call it, the thing I cannot live without. So go to HelloFresh.com and use code That'sGoodSports10 to get 10 free meals, including free shipping. My wife and I brought a baby into the world earlier this year, which means our free time vanished. I struggled to find time just to go to the grocery store, and when I made it, I never knew what to buy for dinner.
Beef and cheese tostadas.
HelloFresh fixed that by delivering their 5-star, easy-to-follow recipes, fresh produce, and meats right to my door. Everything is easy to prepare, and I have dinner ready for my wife and me in about 30 minutes. Now I just need HelloFresh to send me someone to do the dishes. The packaging HelloFresh uses to ship your food is almost entirely made from recyclable and/or already recycled content, and when your schedule gets turned upside down, HelloFresh's flexibility allows you to add extra meals or change delivery needs at your convenience. Again, go to HelloFresh.com and use code That'sGoodSports10 to get 10 free amazing meals, including free shipping. Would it be stupid for the Texans to trade Deshaun Watson? Yes, absolutely. That's not a question. But if Watson does not want to play there anymore, there's not a lot they can do. I mean, if Watson is willing to not play, which Adam Schefter said he is, then Houston doesn't have a quarterback and they don't have any compensation to try and replace their quarterback. So that is why Watson can make the Texans trade him, if he's willing to go the distance. Watson is also good enough and a big enough star that he can sort of orchestrate this. But anyone who thinks that this is not a real possibility, even after Chris Mortensen reported it and after Adam Schefter reported that Watson is at a level 10 of pissed offness with the Texans, you better start believing. The Hopkins trade only made Watson a level 2 mad. So that's like Roy Koopa, Mario, level 2 boss mad. Not allowing him to be part of the rebuilding of the front office has made him level 10 mad. That's like Bowser getting pegged by Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat. Now I am as skeptical as anyone, but when you start seeing guys like Schefter confirm how unhappy Watson is and how he's letting his agent put out the info that he'd take a trade to the Dolphins, it means this story has legs. What kind of legs? Thick, perfectly sculpted Beyonce legs? Not sure we're there, but certainly stronger than the I always skip leg day guy's legs. That is not a picture of me either. Watson's camp is definitely trying to control this story, as Mortensen corrected one of his tweets today. Initially, he posted, reports about Deshaun Watson's unhappiness with the Texans are accurate, and sources close to the QB say he is still angry about the team's insensitivity to social justice, including hiring practices after the franchise failed to interview Chiefs offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy this past week. Then Mortensen clarified with this post, Watson's unhappiness with the Texans is not strongly connected to social justice issues, a source close to the quarterback clarifies. Even though those issues are important, his unhappiness is more current with state of the franchise and what has transpired. So to be clear, Watson is unhappy about how shitty the Texans front office is. That had to be said because nothing would hurt Watson's trade value more than him caring about anything other than football. NFL owners will allow players to care a little, but if they start to show that they're real people who are passionate about other things, that's a no-no. So smart to get that corrected. As much as I am on Deshaun Watson's side, as much as I want to see him play somewhere else, he really should have considered this before signing that huge contract extension. It's not like the Texans' ownership and management started to suck overnight. It's been a problem for a while. But Watson was lied to. If you're a star, you need a lesson in zoology so you can quickly identify the snakes in the grass. In this case, it's Cal McNair, the southwestern rattlesnake of team owners, and that viper I discussed at length in the last Watson episode in Jack Easterby. Watson trusted those guys. He trusted he'd be involved in the process of hiring a new head coach and GM. They told him that, and then they shut him out, just like every rich, evil boss in movie history. Houston has the dangerous combo of evil and stupidity. I speculated on Thursday Watson was pissed because they didn't interview Eric Bieniemy. Turns out that might be the biggest reason he is pissed. All you had to do, Houston, was interview him. It takes some serious ineptitude to not make your star player happy by conducting a damn Zoom interview for an hour. An hour probably would have saved you a few months of headaches, but your arrogance said, nah, let's poke the bear with an iron that's been sitting in the fire for 2 years to show who has the bigger dick here. Deshaun Watson caused a ruckus earlier this year, back in April, when he was seen rocking a vintage Dan Marino shirt. If this were literature, that would be foreshadowing, kids. That's a man who knows what he wants, and if the Dolphins used the pick they got from the Texans to acquire Deshaun Watson, that is called irony. That's the equivalent of being killed with your own weapon in battle. That would be like Derrick Henry stiff-arming somebody so hard that he suffered a season-ending injury. The only part of Chris Mortensen's reporting that doesn't make sense to me is why Watson would say he'd consider going to the Miami Dolphins as long as Tua Tagovailoa was part of the compensation deal. Does he hate Tua? Or does he want to ensure Tua has a chance to start, even though making Tua start in Houston is the same as hating him? Miami has a great team for Watson to join, and much better receiving weapons than anyone will admit with Devontae Parker, Mike Gesicki, and a healthy Preston Williams, possibly. If anyone out there thinks Tua will be better or roughly the same type of quarterback as Watson, you don't know football. Tua can develop into a good QB. I think that's a possibility, but Watson was great the moment he started taking NFL snaps. That's rare. He's elite, and there are arguably no quarterbacks in the NFL who are considerably better than Watson. Compare him to guys like Mahomes or Rodgers or Josh Allen, and you'd be nitpicking about areas one might be slightly more efficient than the other. That's the conversation he's in. I do think this puts the Dolphins in the driver's seat to make a play for Watson, and having 2 picks in the first round this year gives them the ammo. Both those firsts, plus Tua and whatever else it would take after, is worth it. Miami has a young roster and the 10th most cap space, and their biggest question mark, when the Fitzmagic isn't playing, is quarterback. If that's where Watson wants to be, well then Dan Marino himself should threaten the Texans front office until a deal gets done. This does not mean Miami is the only team Watson could go to. I believe he'd play for a handful of teams as long as they have a coach and a roster he believes in. Brian Flores in Miami is one of the hottest up-and-coming coaches in the league. The Chicago Bears, not sure Matt Nagy has done anything to make Watson believe that would be the place for him. I think the Jets are in play, but only if they hire Eric Bieniemy. Washington has the cap space, Terry McLaurin in the defense, but that would depend on how Watson feels about Ron Rivera and playing for the one owner who is still far worse than Cal McNair and Dan Snyder. The Broncos have the offensive weapons and a decent draft pick at 9, and if the Colts weren't in the same damn division, they'd be my second pick for Watson. But that's a bunch of guessing. For now, this is Miami's trade to botch and Watson's hand to force. Watson letting his people put out the info speaks to how unhappy he really is right now, and outside of Cal McNair, Jack Easterby, and Nick Caserio, I don't think there's a soul on earth who would blame Watson for wanting to get out of Houston. We will keep our eye on this story. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. I will have a recap of the entire wildcard weekend up Monday on the best and worst episode. Every Monday those go up, and that does not change for the playoffs, so come back.